one of my friend, she said she saw one of my interview. Her mother saw one of my interviews in which I was speaking in English,
हाँ,
and the mother just looked at that interview was like, "इसको English आती है?" Uh, because they just see me playing these parts and they assume I'm this person. So I'm sure there's a big janta out there who thinks, you know, I am whoever I am playing on screen.
For all film related interviews, reviews, and content, please like and subscribe to Puja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
Firstly, many congratulations. आप
Thank you.
कहाँ से भागने की उसमें हो? पीछे I'm seeing a very exciting lineup of your sneakers.
Yeah, people who run away, they don't carry these many shoes really. These shoes keep me in the home.
Oh. You are a sneakerhead too? Oh my God. यार आपने तो लगता है स्नीकर्स की दुकान खड़ी करती है इधर. I didn't know this about you.
Spoken like my mom, exactly like this. She says, दुकान खोलने वाला है क्या?
But दुकान तो वैसे जो आपने अभी चल रही है बहुत अच्छी चल रही है. Touch wood. So
Thank you so
I
much.
mean आपकी जो पिक्चर थी अपना टाइम आएगा. आपका तो आ ही गया है. But Hamza, I last met you was for Darlings और हमारी इतनी बात नहीं हो रही थी because everyone was together. But
Yeah.
post Hamza, the kind of appreciation you have got for a character that one wanted to literally like strangle with their bare hands also. But कहीं थोड़ा सा उसके लिए बुरा भी लग रहा था कि ये इंसान शायद रिडीम भी हो जाता, पर हुआ नहीं. What was it like for you, this whole process and all that praise that's coming your way?
When I read the part, I was disgusted by the man, and yet I kind of chose to play this hideous person on screen. And I knew that if it is done well and done correctly, this will invoke a lot of hatred and a lot of anger, and it will trigger people, upset people. But I'm just like very happy and pleasantly surprised that the audience are very mature, distinguish the actor in the performance, and therefore there's a lot of hate is directed towards Hamza, and a lot of love is being shared towards me, which felt very good.
But you know,
which felt correct.
No, totally. But and also it's really interesting that you said that people could differentiate between the actor and the character. A lot of time actors feel.
I hope so because really I haven't really dabbled outside and met regular people. I'm sure there are people who would assume that I am this person and they'll be scared. And I'm sure there are no kids running and wanting pictures with me for sure. But I'm not complaining about it. So, but yeah, like recently I remember one of my friends, she said, she saw one of my interview. Her mother saw one of my interviews in which I was speaking in English. And the mother just looked at that interview was like, "Isko English aati hai?" Because they just see me playing these parts and they assume I'm this person. So I'm sure there's a big janta out there who thinks, I am whoever I am playing on screen. And I only hear it from people who speak to me. And I'm sure there are so many people who don't speak to me, and I would never know, what they perceive of me. But I don't really, it's not my job to understand what people perceive of me. My job is to do what I love doing, and I lose myself to it.
That's amazing because the thing is, if they perceive you to be your character, that means as an actor you've done something right. But ये भी बहुत होता है ना, where, as you said, many people can't distinguish the actor and the person from the other. Also, as actors also sometimes fear that they would get boxed and typecast, which this current generation is willing to take that leap and experiment and do all sorts of roles. But कभी-कभी दिमाग में आता है कि यार ये नहीं करते, वो कर लेते हैं. ऐसा कुछ कभी?
I mean, yeah, I try to kind of mix things up. I try to move from, playing similar energy characters, and I managed to do a decent job with it. Having said that, I really don't mind typecasting at this moment because if there is a space out there which I can own, and I would not shy away from taking that spot, because clearly there are way too many men wanting to be good guys on screen. So I'm like, this spot is fairly empty. I'll occupy this.
But as for good guys, I mean, I'm liking the fact that everyone is morally flawed at some level, because as humans, we are all flawed. And I'm glad वो larger than life, you know, सत्यवादी पुरुषोत्तम इंसान नहीं देखना चाहते लोग.
I'm yet to meet one, yeah.
We haven't. वो सिर्फ फिल्मों में दिखते हैं. तो जैसे women का notions of romance खराब हो जाता by seeing those happily ever afters, and men का दिमाग खराब हो जाता by seeing all those like, I'm your protector and your savior.
Yeah, I was also like worried if, you know, like you say the female fan following and the audience space and this and that, but it's just none of my concern really. I figured that if you're good at what you're doing, fans will follow your work. And it was proven when I did She, and it again was reinforced when I did Darlings. And I feel like, Puja, a lot of people have spoken about Darlings after release, and barely any men spoke. Like, so it resonated a lot, and I feel like it made men go quiet and maybe introspect and reflect.
Absolutely, because every time one thought that Hamza would redeem himself, because he was so convincing, he is bari nahi, but then again, जो उसकी फितरत सामने आता था. So, you know, you also kind of made him like not demonic also, but there was somewhere like थोड़ा सा empathy आता था, वो निकल जाता था. That's also like, you know, maybe he could have been redeemed. But that was interesting. So, all that praise that's coming now, everyone's looking forward to Mirzapur 3. आप उसमें क्या कमाल दिखाने हो?
उसमें तो मुझे कुछ करना ही नहीं होता. वो शो इतना बड़ा है और इसकी इतनी बड़ी फॉलोइंग है. मैं without being pompous, I know that Mirzapur is a critic-proof show. You know, like it doesn't require anybody to give any reviews. It doesn't matter what people are saying. People are just waiting to watch Mirzapur, and that's so it's so refreshing to see something like that. The makers are solid enough to top up their game after having a successful season 1, to top it all with a season 2 that worked brilliantly as well. And I know how season 3 is shaping, and I know how excited we are to put the season out. I know that, you know, when season 2, when I joined Mirzapur, I saw what happened. I saw what kind of fandom that show has, and probably the only Indian show which has like a massive fandom. I witnessed it, and those Mirzapur fans aren't gentle, nice people. Their way of expressing love is just like going like at you, you know, like they talk to you in Mirzapur language straight up, you know, in comments. Even now, if I post something, there will be one guy who's saying कि दर्दा को सीढ़ी लगती है या नहीं लगती है. So something like that is always. So the Mirzapur fans are like, they own you, you know, they completely like it. So I'm excited to bring this season out, and I have some stuff to do in it, which you'll watch.
Looking forward to that, and I'm liking the way that how, you know, your chart or your trajectory is looking. There's film हो गया, web series हो गया, फिर एक film कर लिया, फिर एक show एक season के लिए कर लिया. So, you know, it keeps the momentum. So the other one that everyone's talking about is the one with directed by Sujoy Ghosh with Jaideep Agarwal and Kareena Kapoor. उसके बारे में क्या बता सकते हैं? Though I see a lot of you and Kareena's exchange on stories about you reading messages and everything, but वैसे क्या हो रहा है on set?
We finished shooting the film, and it was probably, so I'll tell you, no, like I've been playing all this evil, menacing, devious monsters for a while here and there. But Sujoy saw me in a new light, and it was so just refreshing to go there and do something absolutely new and different for me. And I was able to like just genuinely have fun. I've not had fun like this on a film set. The character was so easy to be with, and so it required me to be happy. It demanded me to be excited about the day. The character was such. So I was really relishing every moment of it. And And to have Sujoy helming it, who's a delightful person to be with, apart from being an awesome director, and to reunite with my old buddy Jaideep Ahlawat, and this incredible superstar Kareena Kapoor was a cherry on top. And we've just made great memories together. Uh, you will see, you will. I hope people can feel what we did when we came together to make this film. And I know that sometimes it translates, and sometimes it doesn't. But I have a strong feeling that it will translate this time.
How tough do you think is it actually to be an actor and a creator in these times? Actually, how difficult is it to make films these days?
Uh, Man, that's a producer question, but it's surprisingly easier than ever before, according to me. There's a lot many more platforms where people are waiting to put stories on. Uh, we had very few avenues. It kept growing as we went along, right? Remember when we were little, only Doordarshan was one channel, and and one a few theaters. We saw the emergence of multiplex. We saw multiple channels coming in. Now we have streamers. Um, an actor is probably the busiest person right now. Out of there are a fresh students out of a film school or a drama school will get job sooner and easier than before. Because there's so much demand for work right now, for talent right now. So I think we are at a place where we are able to make movies so regularly and in so many numbers, um, which is a great sign, because Bollywood and our Indian film industry is also a great exercise of soft power globally. We need to make our presence felt, and we need to be, well, like look at UK, for example. They barely make any films anymore. So yeah, I'm glad we as a nation have managed to kind of keep cinema alive.
No, but also, do you think somewhere the mediocrity does set in? People are more concerned, and also, I mean, should not get corrupted by what the industry did go briefly because it had its own camps and whatever. Do you think that'll happen with the OTT space, or do you think it's a little untouched?
Sorry,
do you
I
think
didn't get
OTT
you.
is far more democratic in the sense, because sometimes people feel mediocrity will set in because people have figured out a formula that this works. Also, with this whole, it said it'll upend the star system, but that doesn't seem to be happening. You do need a star to drive a vehicle forward. Do you think, I mean, OTT will
I
maintain?
have a few thoughts about this, Puja. I've been also thinking about this for a while. I I remember when we were trying to bring my movie Monsoon Shootout out, and
Yeah.
we waited for years to bring it out. Theaters were very difficult to break into for smaller films. It was so tough. We wanted Arijit's song in it. We did everything we could, to just make it appealing for whoever is putting in the money, for the theaters, for the people to be able to come and watch, and fighting for shows and everything, which just looked so difficult. And suddenly we have streamers where I'll tell you the most interesting thing about the streamers. So you have the remote with you, you have a big screen in front of you. Your movie, you are just a nobody. It's your first project. Could be placed right next to the most critically or the most well-grossing or the biggest star. They can be right next to each other, which is something that the system never allowed. Right? Uh, that kind of ability to look at these two things in the same picture.
Right.
Without, even in the TV advertisement, if you look at Tom Times of India or any other newspapers where used to let people know that these films are playing in these theaters at this hours, you could see like ये film बड़ी है, इसका खर्चा ज़्यादा है इसमें, and छोटी film का छोटा सा एक space रहेगा. But they've taken that away, and I feel like that's refreshing. That gives the power to the audience. It's like, yeah, you choose.
That's true.
You choose. So mediocrity has always been around. Excellence has always been around. And mediocrity has its own audiences. Nobody is looking for like path-breaking cinema all the time. There are people who enjoy. My mother still watches her television shows while she's eating, while she's cutting her vegetables, while she's talking to four other people. It's just a part of some noise that she likes.
No, it's true.
So yeah, so people who enjoy it, there is a platform called Mubi. I know people who avidly watch films there, you know. So to each his own right now. But just that merging of the worlds is fascinating.
Awesome. So what more can we expect from you now? It's been like busy 2 years, while many didn't have much work and were like struggling. You had the maximum releases, happening in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I got fortunate. I'd done some body of work which wasn't finding release, thanks to the theaters and theater systems. They just somehow managed to find releases in the peak lockdown situations. And I had like 7, 8 releases in a year, and everything from 2015 onwards, whatever I had done, which was finding a way out or finding a place to release and this and that, got picked up because people were just watching stories. They were all locked up in their houses. They all looked towards entertainment.
I mean, just to lighten up the mood, because he's spoken about he's stuck full. So अभी आपने किसी एक्टर को, could be gender irrespective, झूठ बोला है कि मैं आपका बड़ा फैन?
I must have done this. I must have done it. I don't remember if I have, but I have a feeling I must have done it more than once.
Wow, and I'm very curious to know किसके साथ किया होगा.
बोला यार, बोलना पड़ता है कभी-कभी, because you just dumbfounded at this moment and they come and compliment you for something and then what do you say?
आपका बहुत बड़ा फैन. कभी किसी की फिल्म को स्क्रीनिंग पे गए हो और जैसे होता है ना, बहुत बढ़िया पिक्चर बनाई और अंदर से कि लाइक ये भगवान.
Yeah, I struggled with it. I struggled with it so much that I stopped going for screenings because I just didn't know. And makers would stand at the door. It's a crime. I feel like you should just make people watch and you should disappear in one corner. Whoever is just to come and talk to you, they will. But just standing at the door and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what a terrible film. What do I do? What do I say? And then I'm just like shaking hand and just mumbling something. But I saw Baman Irani do a great job at this. So Baman has a hack. So he will do is, if he's the director, so he's spotted that guy. He's like, okay. So all he does is he goes and he just shuts his eye and he does this with his mouth and he's just all the best. All the best. Just under his breath, he just says all the best, which could be anything. You know, I feel like that's a great place. So I told Baman that I probably steal this one from you.
But that's a good one. Even I can. There's so many times that you cringe and you're like,
you smile, you're like,
lovely, what a great job. I do understand, but also I do get that. Starstruck moment ऐसा है कि आप line भूल गए हो. I mean, you're professional, you're standing, but बात कर रहे हो, you're like, oh my God, you're just like so taken in with a person, say a process or a shot that they've given कि आप अपना ही भूल गए हो.
I remember it didn't make it to the cut in Pink. There was a moment when I am in the Katghara and Bachchan Saab is questioning me. I gave an entire speech of whatever I felt about the case and how these women are wrong and they're taking us for a ride. And I completely said wrong things. But I didn't realize. I was so much into it. Like I just said wrong things at the wrong place. I finished my take. I'm like, great take. And he's just like looking at it. He's like, आपने ये बोला, आपको पता है? मैंने कहा, हाँ. So, and then the entire courtroom laughed and he was like, instead of saying, ये लड़के हम पे इल्जाम लगा रही है, so I said, ये कोर्ट हम पे इल्जाम लगा रहा है, something like completely messed up with my line. But I didn't realize until Bachchan Saab pointed it out.
Wow. वो वैसे किसी के साथ भी हो जाए यार, हो जाए.
Yeah.
सामने बोलते ही निकल जाए तो बहुत काफी है. This is true. And lastly, an actor could be anyone whose body of work and the way they've conducted themselves and maintained their career that you truly admire and look up to. Could be anyone.
Yeah.
Like you're just impressed with like how this person has handled themselves.
I think 2-3 names pop up right away. There's Shah Rukh Khan, there's Vidya Balan, there's Tabu, and definitely Irfan Khan.
Irfan was something. I mean, he was really something. I mean, they don't make
Yeah.
people like him anymore. I mean, honestly.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
agree with that.
100%.
Totally.
We were fortunate enough to be around when he was at his peak game and had some chance interactions with him here and there.
You know, my favorite memory of him actually is Pan Singh Tomar, the co-national
Uh-huh.
bodybuilder.
Huh.
The gentleman that he is, he was not in the know, like nobody was running after him. He
Huh.
came and introduced himself to people like, I am so and so. I mean, that was so endearing. Similarly, for namesake, he introduced people that, I am this, gave company to like my parents he gave company to, saying, oh, your daughter is busy, मैं आपके साथ खड़ा हो जाता हूँ, आपको picture कैसी लगी, कौन करता है ये, and that's stayed with everyone.
Yeah, because he never subscribed to the idea of actors being anything more than human beings. They're not superhuman.
Yeah.
Actors are not supposed to be, walking on cloud nine. They're not. They're just regular people. And nothing about them should make anybody feel lesser. You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah.
Some of them take that stardom too seriously, and then it
No,
just
they create. It's manufactured as well. So.
कभी तो क्या आपको होता है ये जो manufactured stardom देख के like क्या मतलब क्या?
No, it used to affect me when I didn't know enough. But now that I know, I just look at it and I smile. I'm like, बहुत effort है यार, दिख रहा है.
You wouldn't want to go there?
No, my idea of success is not that. Not getting photographs outside gyms, or having coffee or whatever. No, none of that. That's one way of doing it. But I'd figure out other ways of doing it.
Absolutely, your work speaks for itself. And जाते ये बताओ कभी होगा आपका एक हम गाने running around trees, the classic Bollywood moment?
Yeah, it will happen. I have a feeling like people have started to kind of explode in their mind about how many things that they can perceive me in. I'm already hearing great things. And I'm not stuck up about what I want to do. I'm really like, and it's usually these parts that I've played are not my creations. It's creation from somebody else who found something in me that I could play these parts. And I would never, if I was given a chance, would I create a character called Hamza? I can't. Somebody wrote it. It's amazing mind, just meet. Or for that matter, the twin roles in Mirzapur, or Imtiaz created Sasya, or Devotion mein Sujoy saw me in a new light. It's always the director or the writer who surprises me with what capabilities they see me in. So I won't be surprised if somebody says, "Ki Vijay, now I want you shirtless dancing here." I might just do it if I'm sold. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, and more power to you. I said 2022 also you can embrace as your year. And good going, yeah. Lovely chatting with you. All the best.
Thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you, Puja.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.